everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cruising Freja. We want to start with thanking you all for watching the latest episode that we put up, and we have read all your comments, and we will try to follow through with showing you both the boat and our journey. So thank you once again for tuning in.
So today we're going to show you the end of our time in the Philippines, and we've decided to share with you our pilot house, which we obviously spend quite a bit of time in, and we really like the way it works and the equipment we have in there. So we thought you might be interested to see that. Yeah. So let's get on with it. Looking back, we'd really enjoyed our time in the Philippines. We'd certainly enjoyed our fair share of sunsets, and Puerto Princesa gave us one last one to remind us. The next day we were off, but prior to that, on our last day, we'd done our clearances. And if you wonder what that looks like, here's a snapshot. It basically involves trips around town to quarantine to get stamped and give them copies of everything, crew lists, registration, passports, then back across town to immigration to give them passports, crew lists, ports of call, the stamping and more stamping, and then back to the boat, and then you wait for customs and ports to pay you a visit to check over the boat and make sure all is in order before you're allowed to leave. It's done very politely and we have no complaints, but it's just a process. On our way south, we passed Ursula Island, one of the most beautiful islands we'd come across in the Philippines, so we couldn't help but stop. We politely went in to ask if we could dive, as it's a government site, and a jovial chap with a shotgun said no diving, but he would let us have a snorkel for an hour, and that was good enough for us. So we had a quick snorkel and then headed off. In the sands of this protected reef, I was pleased to come across 5 horned helmet conch shells. These can live for up to 100 years, and they're often prized for their food and for their shell, so they're easily taken and often plundered. Following that, it was time for a swim up the anchor chain, under the boat, have a good look around, make sure everything's in order, the propellers, the shafts, the rudders, the fins, and then up anchor and get on our way. From our stop at Ursula Island, we made our way south that afternoon to Balabac Island at the bottom of Palawan. We were stopping in Clarendon Bay, and when we arrived, the drone footage shows what we found. It's a very basic area. There is no mobile phone, there is no electricity, a small village, families, children, basically subsistence living in an area at the very bottom that's known for its crocodiles. It was a beautiful yet stark reminder of what the Philippines is. A land of many contrasts, a land of beauty, and also at times a land of amazing simplicity, but also poverty. Now it was time to head south. Well, as promised, we're showing you our pilot house. We've spent a lot of time designing this and we're very, very happy with it. So we'll give you a quick rundown, not take too long. We have 5 screens. The 2 outside screens are Simrad, the 3 internal screens are Furuno. We run 2 separate standalone systems. In the event of a failure of one, we could pick up with the other. The PC and mouse control a Windows-based Furuno Time Zero navigation system. We also have access to weather via Windy or any other of the apps, and they are touch screens, as you can see. From there we have our VHF radio, primary VHF. We have a watch alarm for nighttime travel. We have our camera control, FLIR control and horn control. In the centre we have our main burning yacht control system, which gives us resources such as tank levels. It gives us control over black or grey water, our AC systems, breakers, and it also has our home page for when we're underway, which provides a very handy pre-start checklist. If it's red, it's not right and needs to be dealt with before you can start and go. We have a Simrad display, normally set to depth or speed over ground. Hydraulic controls, our autopilot is here, engine start stop. Our Humphrey stabilizers are here and the control panel here. They're currently on as we're at rest. Our wiper control. This section here is our throttle and engine controls. We have our sticks in various modes, bow and stern thruster, and our joystick control, which enables seamless and very easy maneuvering of the boat when we're docking. This is the control for this. We have another Simrad display here. Our anchoring system, 2 anchor winches, 1 electric, 1 hydraulic, anchor wash, Simrad control, steering pumps, backup steering here, backlights. Here we have our secondary VHF radio, which is an ICOM, and here we have our water maker. So this is a typical daytime setup. We would have one of our primary charts here showing our route, planned route. We would have cameras over here and we would have our localized view of the boat on the chart here and a sounder running here, data screen here. In the evenings we would change this. We may turn off the outside screens to get rid of any extra light. We would obviously run a chart. We would be running radar in the evenings, so we would turn that on and overlay it over the chart. We would then, as you can see, and then we would run our camera, our FLIR camera at night, zoomed in on the front of the boat to make sure we're not going to potentially hit any unforeseen debris in the water. Everything dimmed down, everything red, and everything under control with the watch alarm on. So lastly, I'd just like to point you to our fantastic double stid. We've really enjoyed the decision to install that. It enables us to sit side by side with friends or my wife and enjoy the journey that we are taking. It enables people to see what we're doing here as we're underway. We'll sign off now for this week, but I promise you in the coming weeks that Johanna will give you a full walkthrough of the accommodation spaces, and we'll even see the engine room in due course. So thanks for watching, and we appreciate your comments, and we hope this answers some of what you've been asking us. Thanks a lot.